Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Joe Sent Me. My name is Joe and I'm your host for today. I have been looking forward to this episode for a very long time and I can't wait to get started. Well, this is my first Q&A and I posted a little thing on Instagram and I was hoping to get some people to chime in and ask some great questions, and I got some of the best questions ever. And I can't wait to answer them all for you because I plan on answering every single question that you've sent me, and I'm going to begin right now. By the way, I'm going to include the question down below and also the username of the person who sent it, so I hope you don't mind. You are going to get some free publicity right here on Joe Sent Me. The first person who asked is this very cute girl who happens to have a guy by her that looks very much like me, and I have no clue who this could be. It is Lumi's Life. And she asks, do you have a signature perfume? Well, that's a great question, Miss Lumi's Life. I actually do. This is my signature fragrance. It literally has my name on it, Joe Sent Me. And I created it on waft.com. And I will have a video in the future to explain how this happened. On to question number 2 from a very similar name. Beauty by Lumi asks, why does perfume trigger powerful memories? That is a great question because there's a psychological aspect to smelling, and I'm sure all of you can relate to this. As a baby, starting at infancy, when you smelled your mother, you knew that she was around. You felt comfortable around her. At that point, you knew that smelling meant something. That's the beginning of smelling. Then you get older and you notice that the people around you have unique smells. It may be body odor, it may be perfume from grandma, it may be the cologne that your uncle wore or your dad or your brother, and you're smelling it and you remember exactly where you were when you smelled it. You remember, I was in high school when I smelled that one. Yeah, I remember old Tommy Hilfiger and Dior Fahrenheit. That was high school back in the day. Yeah, or I remember Brut, the cheap perfume. And I remember, Grandma used to wear white diamonds. And I remember when this person used to wear Coco Chanel. Things like that. And what does it do when you smell it on somebody else? You're immediately brought back to that time. Isn't it amazing that the scent, the power of a scent, can literally be the time machine that you've been thinking about? That is what makes it so special. So great question, by the way. Got a question from Stitch a Pose here. Why do some perfumers charge so much for their fragrances than others? That question is so good that I was going to do a separate video about it, but I decided I'm just going to answer it right here. There's so many aspects to perfume design and everything that's involved in the creation of perfume that add to the price tag. For example, there is the research and development that is involved in it. Depending on the brand, it could also be the licensing fees as well. Depending on the quality of the perfume oils, it can be the ingredients. It can be the source of the materials. It can be the fact that maybe the source is very limited. It may also be because the crop is a very high quality crop. Let me give you a good example. Creed Perfumes uses the term millésime to let us know that the ingredients in that perfume specifically are from the highest quality crop that they received. For me, when I buy a perfume, this is because I've been spoiled by the niche world. When I buy a perfume, I think of the total package. I look at the history of the perfume. I look at the quality of the fragrance itself. I look at the quality of the ingredients. I then look at the website and I also check to see, okay, how is their research and development done? I also look to see how much perfume oil to alcohol ratio is there in the bottle, the design of the bottle. everything like that. Everything matters. That's what drives the cost of the perfume up, especially if you get into some that are more limited editions, special editions, things like that. So that's why perfume can get so expensive. And it really can get expensive when you talk about also the materials and the things that the bottles are made out of. Because there's some brands that pride themselves in making these bottles that use Swarovski crystals or diamonds or real gold or rose gold or whatever. So the design process of that bottle, you are paying for the packaging, you're paying for everything. That's what makes a perfume cost what it does. But then it also makes you realize and appreciate the value of this perfume, because you then don't go and spray a ton of it on you and waste it all in 1 week. No, you use that perfume very carefully and in the right occasions, and you go and use it at the right place in the right time. That's hopefully the answer you were looking for. The next question I got was from a friend of mine here, Zion Creative Media. Your top 5 or your top 10 all-time favorite fragrances, plus your thoughts on fragrance flankers. Okay, so that we don't bore you, I'm just gonna give you the top 5 all-time favorites for me. I do also have a video, by the way, but I can just give you some right now because that might have changed since that video was done. Definitely Creed Aventus is one of my top favorites. It is just universally accepted anywhere you go, just like MasterCard. It is the king of date night fragrances. It's the king of fragrances, period, in my book, and guaranteed compliment getter no matter what. Creed Aventus, number 1 in my book. Number 2 for me, I really enjoy Francis Kurkdjian's Grand Soir. That is such a sexy fragrance. I can't tell you enough how sexy it is. You need to go out and buy it. It is that good. Number 3 for me is gonna be Jubilation 25 by Amouage. I was very happy to see that fragrance won in a major shootout on Jeremy Fragrance's most recent niche perfume fragrance shootout video. For me, number 4 is gonna be from the House of Perfumes de Marly. Leighton is gonna be number 4 for me. And then number 5 for me is going to be Gucci Intense Oud. It is surprisingly good for what it costs. So these are my top 5 for now. It can change because guess what? I'm constantly collecting and getting new things, and I'm constantly discovering new fragrances all the time. These are my top 5 that are in my collection, by the way, and that I love. So I'm gonna answer part 2 of your question, my thoughts on flankers. For those of you that don't know, those of you that do, flankers are the bottles that the fragrances come in. Now, consumers shop with their eyes, and I will tell you that sometimes flankers are the reason why I go and discover a fragrance that I probably would have never touched. It's because I saw the flanker clear across the room and I'm like, oh my goodness, what is this? This is so weird, so unique. This is so cool. This is shiny, it's gold. It's in the shape of a trophy. It's in the shape of this or that. We buy with our eyes. So that may be the initial reaction that we have when we look at a flanker. The other thing too is the flanker, for me, I know they say don't judge a book by its cover, but for me that is the cover to a perfume. When a flanker is ornate, when something or simple but elegant, when you look at a flanker and you could tell that it was designed well, when you can tell that the perfume house cares just as much on the outside as they do on the inside, that's a great sign. Because there are sometimes perfumes that are amazing on the inside, but unfortunately nobody gave it a chance because the outside is just too plain and boring, or the outside was just too vanilla, and nobody gave it a chance because they didn't really see the value in it. So that's just my 2 cents on flankers. Hopefully that answered your question. And now my friend from Chicago, Addicted to Army, she asked me the top 3 countries that sell the most perfumes, and then do you have any idea what the profit margin in perfume business is? Top 3, I don't No, I didn't do my research. I'm sorry, but I have a good feeling USA is one of them. France is another, and I believe that Dubai, Middle East, that might be our number 3. So I think, not in any specific order, but I think those 3 countries are probably very big perfume countries. Very, very big in purchasing perfumes and in selling perfumes as well, in the creation and in selling and buying of perfume. So I believe those 3 countries are probably our top 3 countries. I'm sure that there's others. I didn't do my homework on this specific question because I didn't want to cheat, but I wanted to go with what I thought my gut feeling tells me it is probably the USA, France, and Dubai. Now, your second question, you asked about profit margin in perfume. I absolutely have no clue. And I'll tell you why. Because I am not that deep into that world where I got a chance to, maybe interview a perfumer or interview the house of a perfumer and ask them a question like that. And unfortunately, I'm sure if I were to ask them a question like that, they'd probably not want to tell me, because I believe that a company should be profitable. I believe that there should be margin in the sale of a perfume so that they can continue to reinvest that money into its company and also come out with new and great perfumes, because that's really what it's all about. We want to become fans of the brand. We want to become loyal to the brand. And I believe that if perfumes were not profitable, there would be no perfume business. I got a question from Raj, D-H-O-T dot. So Raj Dot, and his question was, good fragrances on a budget. All right, I'm gonna be doing a video eventually on this brand. You've gotta go, if there's a Zara near you, you've gotta go to a Zara. That is the best fragrance line out there on a budget. It has niche level quality for 15, 20 bucks a bottle. So if you're near a Zara, definitely go into a Zara if you're looking for a budget but high quality fragrance line. That's definitely a great place to look. If you are in the United States and you're looking for budget fragrances, I suggest going to fragrancenet.com. You can use a link below in my description. And you can go to fragrancenet.com. There's a coupon code for 35% off that you can click on it and then use it. You can get great deals on any perfume, high end to low end. You can get any perfume there, really good deal. So if you're talking about a budget perfume, they're all there. Also, another great place is Notino. Notino has websites that are based in the USA, also in Europe. So if you're not from the USA, they do have a European website as well. Notino has great, authentic, niche brands as well. So if you're looking for discounts, they do have some very good quality discounts as well on niche brand perfume. So those 2 websites I recommend highly. All of them are authentic, they're all legit, all is good there. Now we move on to the wonderful Iwana114, who asks a great question. What's one fragrance that you cannot stand? I'll tell you, if you go to Dollar Tree and you go into their store and you check out their rack of perfumes there, I cannot stand the entire collection of Dollar Tree fragrances. Why? Because it's a freaking dollar. This Dollar Tree fragrances kills me, and it's always like an imitation of whoever, but it's a dollar perfume, and I can't stand the way they smell because they're nowhere close to the original. And it's laughable because if you look at the liquid, they're all these multicolored fruit punch looking liquids. It's just a joke. Yes, if there's any fragrance in the world that I cannot stand, it is Dollar Tree fragrances for $1. Now we move on to a coworker of mine, Buzzy Liz. Have you ever purchased what you thought was legit fragrance only to discover it was black market junk? And where are the most trusted places to purchase, especially online? Great question, and in fact, earlier in the video, I mentioned there are 2 great places to purchase. Fragrancenet.com and Notino are my top 2 favorite websites to shop that sell authentic fragrances, any kind of fragrance. It's all there, from the low end to the high end. It's all there. As far as buying an illegitimate fragrance, luckily I have not encountered any illegitimate fragrances. And if you want to encounter illegitimate fragrances, just go to eBay or go to Chinatown. Those are going to be the places where you'll find what looks to be real but is not. Unfortunately, if the deal is too good to be true and it's not on FragranceNet and it's not on Otino, chances are it's not real. And I'm going to go to the final question from this Q&A, and it is from Gentleman Sense. What designer house do you feel needs to stop producing fragrances? Another awesome question, because here's how I feel. I don't think that there's a single designer house that should ever stop being creative. I think creativity is what helps drive our passion. And I think that a fragrance house should never quit making a fragrance, but I do think that they should continue to innovate. They should be inspired by what's around them and understand the trends that are going on in the world as far as perfumery. And I believe that a perfume house, no matter how big or small, should never stop making perfumes. If that is their passion, they should always continue to go with their passion, but they should elevate their level of excellence. I believe that they should always strive to go to the next level, and they should never quit. No perfume house should ever quit unless they run out of money, but nobody should ever quit anything for any reason. That has been my Q&A. Thank you for tuning into my channel. I would love to do more of these, and maybe we'll do another one in the future. Thank you for tuning in. Please like the video if you liked the video, share the video if you thought it was useful, and also don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment below. Thank you so much and have a great night.